to Mabie Island.
Hi, I'm Gaga.
And I'm Papa. And this is our 5th video on Mabie Island. And before we start the music, we want to give a shout out again to these countries around the world that are listening. This is not an all-inclusive shout out, so don't feel bad if your country is left out. But here we go.
Our shout out is to India, Chile, and Ireland,
Turkey, New Zealand, and Bulgaria,
Cambodia, Croatia, and Chechnya,
and Lebanon, Puerto Rico, and Canada. And last of all, the Maldives, which is a small set of islands in the Arabian Sea. And Islanders, next time that we're on, or Meredith and Coleman are on, we're going to have a world map. And there will be pins in the map to your country. Now, if you don't see your country listed as a pin, leave it in the comments. We want to know where you're watching from.
Okay, so today we're going to be reacting to Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift off of her new album, Lover.
It's got a nice beat.
Got a good beat. Bad boy, I wonder who that is. What? Devils roll the dice and angels roll their eyes. Cruel summer. I thought summer was supposed to be a nice time of year.
I think she means there's something about it that was hard for her.
Yeah, that's a good comment. Good comment.
Cruel summer with you.
Okay. Was this somebody she was dating or broke up with?
If I bleed, you'll be the last to know.
Right.
That's interesting.
She's keeping things pretty close to
Yeah.
herself.
I like this part.
It's a catchy song.
Yes, it is. I want to sing.
Well, I tell you the truth, I'm sure this song is about Joe.
Oh.
He looks up grinning like a devil.
No rules. Unbreakable heaven. Aww.
Snuck through the garden gate. Is she trying to get away from paparazzi?
Probably. Ooh.
Okay, so what did you think of Cruel Summer?
I think with many of Taylor's songs, that I think it's very important to understand that she is writing these notes in a diary as this relationship goes along and later transmits them into a song. And I think Joe may never hear these words until perhaps they're getting ready to come out in a song. I think this is her personal reflections on this one. And my take is this is very early in the relationship with Joe.
I think I agree with that. That the reason she's calling it a cruel summer is because it's in that early time when you're not sure whether the person likes you or not, whether they're into you like you are to them. And I think she's very into him. I think it says fever high in the quiet of the night. You know that I caught it. Bad boy, shiny toy with a price. You know that I bought it. And I think she wasn't sure that he bought it. So she felt conflicted. She was very smitten by him, and she wasn't sure where he stood.
Well, and I think that's so evident in that having a relationship with Taylor is not really like having a relationship with hardly anybody else. She gets worldwide I referred to it as royalty one time. That's because she gets the same publicity that Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton got when they married or started dating Prince William and Prince Harry. Mm-hmm. And not every guy is into that.
Well, I think too in the United States she's kind of like royalty to her fans. And so they really are interested in everything about her.
Well, and I also think that she is very much afraid in this song of rejection.
In this lyric, killing me slow out the window, I'm always waiting for you to be waiting below. You get the sense that she's standing at the window and she's watching for him to show up, and that she's desperately in love. She can't wait for him to get there. And then the next line is, devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes. What doesn't kill me makes me want you more. I think we talked about this, Papa, that devils roll the dice. I think what that means is that she's willing to take a chance on this guy. Even though she's been hurt before, she's going to roll the dice again for love. And when it says angels roll their eyes, I just envision them saying, oh, here she goes again.
Well, in the next set of lines it says, and it's new, the shape of your body, it's blue, the feeling I've got. So how would those two conflict? Well, they would conflict if she thinks, okay, if I really let him know how I feel, what if he says, well, I like you as a friend, but I don't want to take it to the next level. Then where are you? And this happens all the time in relationships. People are afraid to let their feelings be known because what if the other side doesn't feel the same way?
Right. And again, it feeds into the idea of a cruel summer. When you're always having these conflicted feelings, you're not sure where you stand with the person that you're really interested in. And then we move on down through the song. It says, it's cool, that's what I tell them. No rules, unbreakable heaven. Keeping it secret, I think. They don't want to mess it up. She doesn't want to mess it up this time. She doesn't want to have to contend with the public and the press becoming part of their relationship.
Drop down a couple more lines and it says, you say that we'll just screw it up in these trying times. We're not trying. In the early part of the relationship, he could have said, hey, Taylor, maybe we better keep this on the light side because otherwise we're going to be hounded to death by the worldwide paparazzi.
It sounds like she was afraid he would get discouraged and walk away.
Well, and then she says, summer's a knife. I'm always waiting for you to cut to the bone. I think she's indicating, what if I like him, but he doesn't feel that strongly about me?
There's really a lot of angst here.
I think there's a tremendous amount of
a new
angst.
Relationship for her, and I think it's hard for her to think, I'm going to try to commit again.
No one likes rejection. No one likes, everyone is afraid of rejection.
Well, I know that all people in all relationships bring along a certain amount of baggage, and you've got to deal with those things from past relationships before you can go in a healthy way into a new relationship. Otherwise, you are really taking a chance.
One of the important lines for me was, I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you. And what she's saying there is, I want to be able to let you know how I feel and hope that you feel the same way. Now you contrast this with the song Lover, where she is so confident of their relationship, and I think the song Lover is current, and this one is talking about perhaps...
Lover shows an evolution from this point.
Absolutely.
To then where she sounds like she's more confident in the relationship.
Absolutely. She says, I'll take this man. Would ladies and gentlemen please stand? You're my lover.
Yeah.
It's our house. We can make the rules. And I think all the issues of does he like me as much as I like him are resolved by the time you get to the song Lover, which makes me think, and I think you too, that this cruel summer was probably early in the relationship.
I think it was their first summer together.
I do too.
Then there's this verse that is interesting. I'm drunk in the back of the car and I cried like a baby coming home from the bar. Said I'm fine, but that wasn't true. I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you. And I snuck in through the garden gate every night that summer just to seal my fate. He looks up, grinning like a devil. So I think here she got drunk. They were probably out together and she showed her feelings, and then they started to have secret meetings, trying to keep things private, trying to let their relationship grow. The fact that she blurted out, I love you, and he grinned in response had to be a positive affirmation for her. It had to just kind of hit her right here and say, oh, he loves me too.
Well, if she actually said that, what if this is something she just wrote in her diary?
It's possible.
And he never said that, and she never said that. Because in her diary, in this line, she says, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? If she was writing in her diary, she might say, What if I told him I loved him and he said, that's the worst thing I've ever heard because I don't feel exactly the same way about you? What would you have then?
Well, I felt like when they were drunk in the back of the car, the truth came out because it tends to loosen your lips. And I think for her, the truth came out. It was probably a relief to her to just blurt it out.
So I think the thing is, we don't know whether that was said to him or it's something she wrote in her diary. There are people looking to photograph every moment of her life and now perhaps every moment of his life. Mm-hmm. And I think they went to great lengths to keep this secret up until the time the song Lover was released.
I think she was really fearing that it would scare him away, but she was really hoping it wouldn't.
Okay, so I have a question for you. How old were you when you met Dad?
I was 18.
And how old were you?
24.
Was there a period of time for either one of you where you wondered, like, does he really like me? Or did you, see, here's what I think. This is just, I wasn't around that time, but I feel like Dad always wondered whether you liked him or not, but you knew Dad liked you. Is that right?
I think it was probably the reverse.
What?
Because at the time, I was coming off a relationship where I had pretty much had my heart broken.
Oh my gosh.
Looking back, I can see why. I'm sure it was mostly my fault. And Gaga sort of let me know that she liked me, and I was conflicted because of this prior relationship that I thought perhaps would get back together. And I mentioned that to her. And then once I thought about it, I thought in a space of about 24 hours, to heck with that other relationship. That's over. I love this new relationship. And I communicated that to her.
I will tell you that we met on July the 12th of that summer, and we married on September the 9th.
So how long after you met did you say you loved each other? And then you must have gotten engaged quickly.
About 2 weeks. But
and I agree with that.
She was dating several other guys at the time, and I was dating nobody. I was still moping over this previous relationship and had been doing that for several months.
Back then you dated lots of guys. You weren't exclusive like you are today, so you kind of played the field.
So when she said, well, I am dating other people, I thought, oh, wait just a minute here. We've got to stop this. I better get my head screwed on straight.
I kind of told him if he didn't do something about it, I would just go ahead and go back and date other guys too.
When we talk about the difficulty for Taylor and the difficulty for her having a relationship because of the intense scrutiny and publicity that every single minute of her life, public and private, is scrutinized by the press and by the paparazzi. When we talk about that, then it's extremely difficult. It is sort of like somebody dating her getting into royalty, but in the final analysis, just like in that movie Notting Hill, she's still a girl standing in front of a guy asking him to love her.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, what would you give Cruel Summer?
Well, in this video, which is the story of a young woman who is really wondering, does he like me as much as I like him? As they're starting to work through the first part of their relationship, which for her makes it a cruel summer. But again, I have to give it a 4, like I did the last one, because of Daylight and Lover and Soon You'll Get Better.
I really love the music on this particular song. I see that it was co-produced with Jack Antonoff, and I think he's just excellent. I also love the story she tells. It was a little bit hard at first to figure out what she was saying, but after you listen to it a few times, and I find myself always wanting to kind of sing along with this song, so I'm going to give it a 5.
Fans, we love you. Keep watching us. Like and subscribe. Let us know where you're watching from. And as we said last time, it's nice to know.
So many nice people.
Bye.
Bye.